Hey, what's up? My name is Busco the Barber, and this video that I'm about to show you guys is going to be a very instructional video. You're going to be learning how to do clipper over comb, how to fade from bald to the number one, and I'm going to show you guys how to do scissor, and the most important thing when it comes to cutting hair and locking down the client, how to style the hair. So I hope you guys enjoy.
Easy Blade products can be purchased at easybladeshavingproducts.com. My name is Busco the Barber, and I'm going to be your narrator for this mid-fade undercut. Create your first guideline with your T-outliner. This will determine how high or low your fade will be. Using your number one guard, we will create a section around 1 inch wide. This will give you enough space to erase from the 0 to the number 1. This part right here is very important. It will determine the pop on your fade on how light it looks from light to dark. Make sure you stop slightly underneath the T-outliner. So now that we have our section from the 0 to the 1, we want to get our machine with no clip, put the level all the way open. As you can see where we're pointing out with our finger, we're going to stop slightly underneath the number 1 guide. Doing this will assure yourself that underneath the number 1 is the half. As you can see slow motion when we're stopping, go ahead and stop slightly underneath the number 1. Have in mind that there is always a line in between the half and the 1. We will erase that line further on in this video with the half clip. So our next step, as you can see, we're going to go notch by notch. We're going to bring it 1 notch down, lowering the level on the side. As you can see in slow motion, we're stopping slightly wherever we stop with the half clip. So the way we're going to do this whole fade, erasing our way down, we're going to go notch by notch, starting with the half, then in between the half and the middle, then in the middle, then in between the middle, and close, and then close. I will now go ahead and guide you guys with the steps. Make sure you guys write these things down in a notebook. Our following step is bringing the level towards the middle. As you can see, we're doing a slow motion again so you guys can see exactly where we're stopping. But go ahead and stop slightly underneath where your previous step was at. Doing this will assure you that we're getting every step exactly and every measurement. Your fade will come out flawless. So as we're working our way down, we're bringing the level in between the middle and close. Using the video in slow motion, you could assure yourself knowing how far we're going, and go ahead and take your time as you do this. So we're almost done here using the level all the way close, creating the size 0. Go ahead and try to erase that bottom line. Have in mind that the bottom line is not going to erase because it's created with the balding, and that will be erased further on in the video using the T-outliner and your balding as well. So pretty much this part right here is just detail work, and it's very important. You gotta go ahead and take your time and notice how we move the level up and down. There's really no method in this situation. You're just moving the notch 1 notch at a time up or down until you're satisfied and you're taking away any little spots that you left behind. So right here, the only reason why we're passing the one once more is just to assure ourselves that that line is the one, because we're gonna go ahead and use clipper over comb right now. And clipper over comb, you gotta have in mind that the comb itself with the machine with the level open, it creates a 1.5, so it will complement right after the number 1. As you can see, we have the level open. Cutting sideways will eliminate the bulk that we have there. So there's 2 methods into doing clipper over comb: cutting sideways to take off the weight, and now cutting up. As you can see, when we're cutting up that bottom line, it's easier to knock out because we're starting underneath where that bottom line was at. So the more you pass it, the more you erase that line. And don't be afraid about making another line, because have in mind that this size right here is a 1.5 and the bottom line was a number 1. There's no way you're gonna create a line. If anything you're doing is erasing the blend, erasing the line, making it more into a smoother blend. What this does is gonna eliminate more steps. You're not gonna be able to use the other clips because you're using your clipper over comb for that. So just go ahead and take your time and pay attention. Since everything is being in slow motion, you can have an idea of how you're supposed to hold the comb and how you're supposed to tilt it and all that. Right now we're gonna go ahead and show you guys the other side. Since this is an undercut, we gotta go ahead and part the haircut with the comb. As you can see, we had put a little bit of water right there, but pretty much it's the same scenario right here. We're gonna go ahead and do clipper over comb, making sure that when we put the comb, that the bottom of the comb starts exactly where the number 1 line is at. Tilting the comb slightly out, we're gonna go ahead and fade sideways. So when we go ahead and fade sideways, what we're gonna do right there, we're gonna knock down that whole bulk, because that's a lot of bulk right there for us to blend. Have in mind, to erase the number 1 line, we have to blend going up, but that's too much bulk, which is the reason why we're starting off sideways first. We want to take out that bulk so it could be easier for us when we switch it up and start fading up, as we're about to do right now in a couple seconds. So we took off the bulk, so now we're gonna go ahead and fade up. So as you can see, when we're fading up, we're doing more of a transition, more of a fade. It's pretty much we're eliminating the other clips. We're eliminating the white clip, which is the 1.5, and we're eliminating the number 1 clip with the level open. But have this in mind, if for whatever reason you still have a slight line underneath whatever you did with the clipper over comb and the number 1, well then just go ahead and grab your number 1 clip, start all the way open and bring it towards the middle, and that will erase any little detail that you need to erase at that point where you see that line, which is the 1. So as you can see, the back, we're pretty much doing the same way, the same thing. We're tilting slightly, we're gonna go ahead and fade sideways, taking off the bulk. Once you're satisfied that you took off enough bulk, we're gonna go ahead and start fading up, as you're gonna see right now in a couple seconds. So now that we took out our bulk, we're fading up now to erase that 1 line, that number 1 line that was created with the number 1. Like I said, guys, if you guys can't erase that line, go ahead and grab that number 1 clip, start open and in the middle. Pretty much right here, we're just starting off the lineup. We're not going to do the full lineup, but we're just starting off the lineup real quick from the side. Make sure we're getting that cleaned out. In a couple seconds, we're going to move on straight towards that balding line that we created from the beginning. So go ahead and take your time doing that on the part of the lineup on the side. A little tip that might help when you guys do the lineup, usually what I do, I go ahead and analyze what side is the highest, what side of the lineup is the highest, and that's the part that I start off lining up first. That way when I do the other side, it doesn't come out slanted. So yeah, now that we're done doing that, we're gonna go ahead and move on towards the side and erase that first guideline that we did with the balding. Now as we pass the T outliner, I put it in slow motion so you guys can have an idea of how far you guys should go. You shouldn't go that far. We're pretty much just trying to knock out that balding line, and for whatever reason, if you guys can't take off that balding line, we're gonna go ahead and show you guys in a couple seconds how to completely take it off. So pretty much we're just prepping it right now with the T-outliner. It is kind of taking everything off, but we're prepping it for when we use the balding, because the balding will take off the actual balding line. Now hopefully you guys remember that earlier in the video I had mentioned that there is always a gap or a line in between the number 1 and the half. So this half clip, which is a gray clip, we're gonna go ahead and use it for detail work to erase that line that we just spoke of, starting off with the level all the way open, bringing it down towards the level in the middle, and then bringing it down all the way close if needed. So as you adjust it from the top, middle to the bottom, that will for sure take away any slight mark that we left behind that was created in between the half and the number 1. Now to finally completely erase that bottom balding line, we're gonna go ahead and use our balding, and as you can see how we're using the side of it, we're just pretty much flicking out, and try to just pay attention on how far we're going. Everything about fading, and even a great fade, is just knowing the proper space or the proper distance that you got to give yourself when you flick out. So I hope this slow motion video works out for you guys and it helps you guys. I'm gonna go ahead and apply enhancements. The difference between this enhancement and other enhancements, this one is called vegan or Beijing, however you guys want to call it. Pretty much what it is, it's a hair dye and it dyes the skin. So by us applying this, it will definitely give an enhancement that will last 4 to 5 days and it will not wash out. As you can see, we're using our Easy Blade products, which is very great for the process that we're going to create right now using the enhancement. The shaving gel itself is very light and see-through, and a little bit goes a long way, so we don't really need a lot, and it's perfect because usually when we use enhancements and we start shaving, it leaves a big bulk of shaving gel. But in this sense, since the shaving gel is so lubricated, we don't really need a lot, and it's perfect for the enhancement because it doesn't leave a big trail of shaving gel. As you can see, when we're shaving the client and we're outlining, shaping up everything, it's leaving a very crispy look, and every time we just pass the blade, with one time that we pass it, it just easily takes off the hairs. Go ahead and shave the other side. As you can see, because of the enhancement that we used earlier, every time we shape up the client, it looks very crispy and dark. The outline looks dark and sharp due to the enhancement. Have in mind that this enhancement is going to last him at least 4 to 5 days, almost a week, and this will not wash off, unlike other products that we usually use, which are great too, but they're usually just meant for a day. So we're going to go ahead and show you how to use the scissors. Go ahead and use the front of the bangs of the customer's hair. We're going to go ahead and cut sideways. Whatever we're cutting right now is going to be our first guide, determining how much the client is going to get cut off. So once you go ahead and cut the front, we're going to go ahead and split the sides. Split it in 2 sections because we don't want to work with so much hair. And once we work with one side of the hair, we're going to use the front of the hair, which was already cut off, for us to know how much to cut as we go from the front going to the back. Go ahead and take your time when you do this, and make sure that once as you're cutting going front to back, you're using the front side of the guide that was cut earlier to follow up with your cut going backwards. So as we point out for you right there, that's the part that we cut in the beginning, and pretty much what we're doing, we're just following it up. We're cutting everything, matching up whatever we had already cut in the front. We're using that as a guide, and by doing this, you're pretty much just getting everything even, and you get to determine how high or how much or how little you're gonna take off from the client. Now honestly, I think this is really important, and it's very important for you to lock in your customers. Styling the hair. A lot of people are doing undercuts nowadays, but they don't really know how to style the hair. As you can see, the hair was wet, and pretty much we're just blow drying it. We're just trying to get it dried up right now. So you need this specific brush, and as you can see, we're twisting and using the hair blower dryer. Make sure you don't burn the scalp, but you place the hair blower dryer touching the brush and just brush, and it will just give it its style. You want to make sure that you twist and you put the hair blow dryer at the same time, and it will just automatically give it that look. You could put paste afterwards if you wish. I want to go ahead and give you guys a big thank you for watching the video. If you guys liked it, go ahead and press that like button. Subscribe. I got more videos for more tutorials for you guys to learn. As you can see, we're using our shaving gel Easy Blade products. Go ahead and grab these products. They're very good and one of the best shaving gels out there right now. We're gonna go ahead and shave the back to take off all the little hairs that we left behind towards the end. You're gonna go ahead and see how we're gonna shave down and up, and all of this is possible for the simple fact that we're using a great shaving gel, because the lubrication is very good. Sometimes when you use shaving cream, you can't really see what you're shaving. It's kind of dangerous, but this shaving gel is see-through and is very lubricated, and a little bit goes a long way. That being said, go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube channel, 5150 Cuts, 5150 CUTS. More tutorials right there with different barbers, the greatest barbers that out there in Los Angeles that I will be narrating. Go ahead and follow me at Busco 5150 Cuts. You can go ahead and get Easy Blade shaving products at www.easybladeshavingproducts.com.